Good evening and welcome to CTV Sports. I'm Keith Albertson.
And I'm Steven Starcer. The latest volleyball rankings are out. Last week, the team made no advancement, staying at number 12 in the nation. But today, the team can celebrate its first top 10 ranking in nearly a decade. After 2 Mountain West Conference home wins for the Rams, they jumped up to number 9 in the nation, their highest ranking since November of 2004. They passed Michigan State, Nebraska, and North Carolina. This team has continued to impress as they remain one of only 2 teams that are undefeated on the season. The Rams have had several players recognized this season for their stellar performance on the court, but the players coming off the bench may deserve just as much credit for the team's success. I spoke with senior Michelle Smith about her role on this year's team.
Team this season, except for the players.
We expect it to be good, and especially hearing everyone say, oh, it's going to be a rebuilding year and stuff, we're like, well, we don't want to have a rebuilding year. We want to do well right away.
While everyone was busy writing them off, the players continued to bond as a team.
We have had such a core group of girls that, we maybe not experienced playing time on the court, but we've all been around the program, and we've all been together working really hard. So we kind of had that chemistry, I think, already built up going into the season, and we were just excited.
Players like Michelle Smith, who haven't seen a ton of playing time, have made this team great with their hard work and perseverance.
I'm not going to let minutes affect my experience because it's not just about being on the court. There's so much more to this program, and just being invested for all of my teammates is really important to me, and I've kind of latched onto that my senior season.
Even though Smith's court time is down, her role as a leader has been important to the team's success.
They respect the effort that I constantly put in, and I think that's really important to me, is just to be that kind of role model for my teammates, that no matter what your playing time situation is, you're giving it 110%. I think I just have a good understanding of my role right now, and if that were ever to change, I'd be ready to go in. So that's my role right now, and if it changes, I'll be ready for that.
It is players like Smith who make good teams great, and she hopes fans continue to support the Rams as they chase down history.
Thank you to everyone that has been coming and supporting, and please continue, because we're excited to, continue on with this season and for years to come. It's important.
Smith is also responsible for initiating a service leadership program called Rams Care, so showing she is a leader in the community as well as on the volleyball team. Keith, 2 more big conference wins for this volleyball team, still undefeated on the season. Things just can't seem to be going any better for this team right now.
Exactly, and they're finally getting a little bit of respect in the rankings. Top 10 now for the first time since 2004, like you mentioned. And it's definitely what this team needed. They got a little bit of help from a couple teams that were ranked above them. They lost, but that might just be what it takes for this team that doesn't have the toughest schedule.
Yeah, they're doing the best that they can with the schedule that's been presented to them. They're starting second half of conference play just about now, so it's going to be important for them to go out there and get some more road victories on this. Got some tough places to go. Utah State's going to be a tough place to go. Fresno State will probably give them a little bit more tougher competition than they had at home when they played them against at Moby. But, this team continues to go out there and improve each and every match, and that's what you want to see.
Yeah, that's what's been critical for this Rams team, is that they have been able to improve. They're not just content with the fact that, oh, yeah, we've been winning, but they go out there and fight harder than the other team and then aren't getting complacent. They keep fighting.
Exactly, and the coaches deserve a lot of that credit for keeping them from not getting complacent. The assistant coaches, along with Coach Hilbert, I think have done a phenomenal job with this team, getting their heads in the right place and making sure they go out there and continue to work hard.
Exactly, and it's really great to see that from our volleyball team. But our volleyball team isn't the only CSU team that is rolling.
Stay tuned to find out what the football team was able to do for the first time since 2008.
So, I got this new family. And I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
is the ride. A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are the #1 killer of children 1 through 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
Coach McElwain and the CESU football team are now back from their trip to Hawaii, but they weren't there on vacation. They went there to take care of business against the winless Warriors. The Rams looked far from perfect in this game, though, but that didn't seem to matter. Their offense showed up early, and that was enough to put away Hawaii despite a late comeback from the Warriors. Letting off the gas pedal has been an issue for the Rams, though, as they failed to score in the second half of Saturday's game. Consistently, they are being outscored by their opponents in the second half, as you can see here, outscoring their opponents by 59 points in the first, but then getting outscored by 37 in the second. Definitely not what you want to see from your team, Steven. You want to see those late pushes to really fight to win every game.
You know, we talked about it a little bit before, still waiting for this team to consistently play solid 4 quarters of football. They did against Wyoming. They came out, played 2 fantastic quarters of football to start the game against Hawaii. 35 points was awesome by the offense. Defense did a pretty decent job as well. And then second half really struggled to score. And the defense, luckily enough, was able to step up and hold them to just 11 points. But you take a look there at the stats for this team. Definitely doing a lot better against the run than the pass. I think it was important, though, for them against Hawaii. Didn't really give up too many big plays in the passing game to a team who really likes to sling it around the field, which allowed them to get the victory.
Yeah, and you do have to give our defense credit. You know, we talk about the second half woes, but they are doing what it takes to win, especially against this Hawaii team, a team that you should beat even on the road. And I think a lot of that comes to our pressure, quarterback pressure.
Yeah, the defensive line was doing a phenomenal job in this game, getting after him here. Big-time sack fumble, and they're going to pick this one up and take it all the way to the house. Defense providing a little bit of offense for this team. A huge momentum-shifting play for the Rams in this one. And I thought it was important for this team in the past couple of weeks to get plays out of the other guys besides Shaquille Barrett. Barrett was the guy doing anything and everything for this team at the start of the season, but now you're starting to see a variety of players get in there and mix it up a bit.
Absolutely. Max Morgan there with his first career touchdown, defensive touchdown, not easy to come by. He had a chance last year with a fumble, scoop, and score, but he got caught, chased down, and he said after the game he wasn't going to let that happen again as he returned that one for what proved to be the difference. 7-point. He gets 7 points for that touchdown right there, and that was the difference in the game. Huge play.
Huge play. I talked about it. You want players to be able to make plays, step up, and make those game-changing plays. And it was Barrett early, but now we're seeing other people step up. And it's defense and offense, which is great to see. You want to see that total team effort out of the football team.
Exactly, and the big playmaker on offense has without a doubt been Capri Bibbs. He got another 3 touchdowns against Hawaii. That gives him 12 on the season. He is tied for the lead in FBS.
It's been awesome to see this kid's development coming in as a freshman and just seeing the vision that he has. He's one of those rare combinations of a back with speed and power. Gonna run through those arm tackles, tough for opponents to bring him down. And you talked about this guy running hard here at the goal line, pushing through the defense. He's been phenomenal the way to step up. 33 carries for a freshman back. That's quite a load, and it's been awesome to see him be able to step up for this team. And then you take a look, Donnell Alexander also stepping up, getting a big chunk of yardage here for the Rams. Those running backs have been awesome so far for the Rams this season.
Exactly, and it makes it a little bit easier for Grayson because he doesn't have to carry the team on his shoulders, go out there and throw for 300 yards a game. Because he's got these backs that he can rely on. They can pick up the first downs and really help establish this balanced offense that works so effectively.
You touched on it. The balance has been key for this team. I think we're starting to see the offense click more and more as the season's going on, which is great to see. We're waiting for that to happen. I think it's really starting to come together for this team mentally and with the play on the field. I think if the defense could continue to try and match that, I think this team's going to be in good shape moving forward.
Yeah, exactly, especially going into Saturday, probably their toughest matchup left on the schedule. Boise State's coming to Hughes Stadium, night game. Should be a good game.
Hopefully it'll be a great atmosphere. Hopefully Ram fans can go out there and cheer this team on. Should be exciting to take on those guys. They're coming in with the backup quarterback, not the starter from the beginning of the season. So the Rams are going to have definitely an even better chance in this one. Boise State's still a tough team, though. They have great coaching over there. You always have to watch out for the trick play in that. But I think CSU is really starting to click as a team overall. I think the coaching staff's preparing these guys better each and every week, and I think the Rams have a real shot of getting the win on Saturday.
Yeah, and this is a very big win for the Rams as they look at their division. They don't have the strong division. They're not going to play Fresno unless they get to the conference championship game, and that's the big one right here. Utah State lost their quarterback, and Boise State and CSU are right there in the mix, so we're going to have to see who's going to take the Mountain Division, and it's going to be a tough matchup, Stephen, but it isn't the only matchup on Saturday that's going to be worth watching.
That's right. The men's basketball team tips off in afternoon in its first exhibition game of the season.
Stephen and I are going to let you know our players to watch and give you a preview of the season coming up next.
43,000 CSU Ram alums call Denver home. Now it's easier for Denver Ram fans to stay connected with CSU. CSU is proud to announce the new Colorado State University Denver Center, where Ram alums will feel at home. It's a place to make professional connections, enjoy events with other alumni, and even show your Ram pride with a wide selection of CSU fan gear. Stay connected with CSU, the CSU Denver Center at 17th and Glenarm. Learn more at rams5280.colostate.edu.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
The men's basketball team that won a school record 26 games last year is playing in its first preseason game of the year on Saturday at 1 o'clock. I know I'm certainly anxious to see how this team will look after graduating all 5 starters from last year's team. Keith, give me a player who you're expecting to come up huge for this team this year and can maybe step up and play one of those key roles since we lost those starters.
Yeah, we lost all 5 of those seniors. You know, you see a lot of big players going out, but my player to watch for this year is going to be a guy who didn't play at all last year, Dwight Smith. Sat all of last year with the redshirt injury, and I think that he's going to come back. He could definitely be one of the biggest assets of this team if he steps up. You hear a lot of talk about if he's able to be there mentally. He's had a little bit of laziness issues, and Coach Larry Eustace talks about that a little bit. But if he can overcome those, he's going to be the asset that we're looking for.
I definitely agree with you there, Keith. I think if he could get back to his playing days under Coach Miles, where he was stepping up and guarding the other team's best player, really being that lockdown defender, I think if he could provide that for this year's team, that would be awesome. I'm going to go ahead and go with Daniel Bejarano. I think this is a guy who last year played very well for the Rams off the bench. Tremendous rebounder for just being 6'4". He was the 6th man of the year in the Mountain West Conference. I think this year he's going to be expected to step up and play the starter's role. You know, he's kind of a streaky player. You'd see him go out there, swish some threes in some games. In other games, he'd have a couple of air balls. I think if he could really nail down that consistent play this year for the Rams, he could be not only one of the top players on this team, but one of the top players in the conference as well.
Absolutely, but you did touch on it, hot and cold. You hope that he worked on it a lot in the offseason, being able to find a lot more consistency, especially behind the arc, because that's where we're going to need him is on offense, because he is a strong defensive player, but we're going to need him to step up more on offense.
Yeah, you know, it should be exciting to watch the team this year. A lot of athletic talent. I'd like to see them getting up and down the court.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be an exciting season, and I look forward to it starting on Saturday. Well, that's all the time we have for you tonight.
If you wanted to see more, go check out our website at collegian.com.
Either way, we'll be here at the same time and same place next week, and we'll see you then.
Have a great night.